Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2, Mercenaries, 15 years later. Last time we eliminated some HVTs off the deck of 52, and made some friends along the way.
Hey, alright! Just what I need, a professional.
Our last contract for the Mafia ended nicely.
Contract complete. That should keep Sergey happy. Well done.
Once our crate got things under control. And before we knew it, we had 40 G's in the bank. Another contract down. Apprehending this man's vehicle, I decided to take the scenic route. Oh, what's this?
There's a number card nearby. Check your radar for the location.
Apparently, the 6 of clubs. And a tank. I raced to kill the gunner and take the tank, and I was instantly relieved not to find a quick time event. Not that I hate it, just I'm bad at it. Okay. Just hit this guy. Fuck. These things happen. But he's off the list, so that's progress. Now that we're roaming around with our new war machine, I decided it would be best to put it to some use and hunt down some more HVTs. The 3 of clubs was last seen south of Pyongyang, and I set out to find him. Crossing rough terrain, high and low, the shit was not easy. Stank blows. Yet I persevered, and I found the bastard hiding up in the hills. Unfortunately for him, he didn't know that. Killing all but 2 of them, I apprehended them both. I didn't mean to. I'll interrogate him later. And just like that, the 3 of clubs is locked up. Continuing our journey with this cumbersome death machine, I wanted to spend some time exploring and see what I can discover on my own. Venturing further into the mountains, I straight up stumbled upon a North Korean base and panicked my way out of the tank. No dude, get back in. Getting hit by rockets and gunfire, I tried to shoot down the enemy chopper, but couldn't quite get the angle right.
You're now an enemy of the Chinese.
Wait, what? Why are the Chinese mad? These guys are North Koreans. Weren't these assholes the first people you had me attack when they were spying on you?
Get rid of this irritation for me.
What the hell is that shit?
I'm just doing my job.
Realizing I was getting no love for my efforts, I decided to get out of there before things escalated further. And there's a tank. And of course. Now huffing it back to civilization, I arrived at the North Korean HQ for the next contract. It's time to mix it up a bit. Buford, who I was never properly introduced to, thanks to me, is concerned with a member of his staff being held up at the Pyongyang airport.
I need someone to go in and extract a member of my staff they're holding for questioning. Guy's got a head full of intel, and the last thing I need is the Chinese sweating it out of him.
I guess I gotta rescue him. Dude. Creepy. Heading out, I took some SK troops with us for support. Yet after reaching the first line of defense, I realized I was outmatched. It was a fruitless effort. Going into a hangar, I found the staff member just chilling by some crates. It was like he was expecting us to come by.
Hey you, over here.
Anyway, off we went. I raced for the most appropriate vehicle available, and went back for the HVT. Get in.
You can't let the Chinese follow you back to Kaesong. Lose them.
That's not gonna happen. Oh, you son of a bitch. Finally losing that psycho, our only threats left were fences, as all seemed clear. What's this? Oh shit, lost disguise. Oh. Oh. Okay, I guess they give up. No one cares? And before I could say this thing is better off-road than a tank, we were stuck behind a fence. God damn it. Well, after getting through that lunacy, we returned safely to the South Korean HQ.
Perfect. That was a tricky job well handled. Buford should be impressed.
Yeah, but did it need to be? Deciding to keep this crazy train rolling, I continued with the South Korean contracts.
Pull up a chair. I've got another job for you.
Hints from the title and Buford's description suggest the King of Clubs is on the menu.
Yes, and we are hungry.
Hit it.
Heading out in our North Korean Jeep, I once again went the mountainous approach. Yes.
This thing is about to blow.
Struggling my way through the rough terrain, I finally arrived at the enemy base, and was able to scope things out from afar.
Nothing to worry about, just using the scope. Safety is on.
I saw obvious targets that needed to be destroyed, but a local jammer was in the area, and I had to take that out first to call on the bomber. So I stole it, and no one really seemed to mind. Except the guy apparently on my side. Yes, dude, blow it up. Grenading it to death, I made my way back to take out the missiles. Selecting the satellite, I decided to go for the first row on the left. What's this? Oh, you son of a bitch. Now out of harm's way, I initiated the strike and hung back for the show. What? Well, with one row down, now it was onto the other, and with the launch site too far away, I moved in for a closer view. Engaging with a group of soldiers, I heard a familiar hiss, and tried my best to avoid it. You know, sometimes it's only after reviewing this footage that I realize not all the things are the fault of the game. It's a real humbling experience, because that guy's definitely not dead, and now I am. Awesome. Heading back now, I went up the same route as I did before, blowing up the jammer with grenades, and one for good measure.
Support options are back online.
I eliminated the first row of missiles and tried to strike the second, but wasn't completely successful. And just like that, I felt like I was back to where I was before. Oh shit. Wondering what to do next, I reasoned my only means of salvation was to head further up the mountain. And a mountain it was. Oh my god. You know, some say certain members of the expedition team never returned. Luckily I did, and the last 4 missiles were in sight. And the tank wasn't. Oh, we're good. Launching the next strike, I realized I was still too far away to destroy all the missiles, and would need to move in closer to do so. Again, this sounds really familiar. Why do I do the same thing and then wonder if it's different? I'm insane. This was a pretty intense experience running along this ridge, getting fired upon. Luckily, I was able to hide behind some boulders and call in the next bombing run. But this time, instead of being completely inept, he didn't even show. Guys, he stole $200,000. That's 2 reporters. Now I can't even order another one. What the hell is this? Destroying the rest of them with an RPG.
Excellent. You've destroyed all of the launches.
Was this grade school? I was finally tasked with taking the King of Clubs.
He is on the base somewhere, but you'll have to scout around for his exact location.
And I was bringing a missile of my own to the party. Oh, wait. Okay. What in the literal fuck was that? You know, I'd like to say that I learned something by my 3rd attempt. But the struggles were all the same. Okay, fine, so are my choices. Oh my god, I'm surrounded by fencing. Rolling into the compound, I found the King of Clubs on top of a building. And with that, this situation became almost complete and utter blasphemy, as I realized how cool it would be if I could launch this missile up his—
Johnson. Yes, sir. Get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
What a waste. I would do that. I would do it now. Getting out to investigate, the king just runs away and falls off the building. So, alright, thanks for surrendering. Basically. Soon the King of Clubs was on board, as all the others.
sick and tired of everyone sucking upon your tits because you want to become king. All the while, no one gives two turtle shits about me.
Now to steal a ride and head back to take on another contract. This time from the Russians.
Look who it is! My own personal army!
Finally, some respect. Sergei offers me the Jack of Clubs.
Right! That guy! We know where he is. He's yours, free of charge. This is how I treat my friends, eh?
Which seems like a solid deal. Even though with his favor...
Also, he's got a nice missile truck. If you bring some of my boys with you, they'll bring it back for me. This would be a favor for me. You understand.
Jeez, man, okay. Alright. Loading up in the transport truck we stole before, we set out for the target location to the south. Coming in like a bat out of hell, we got the jump on the North Koreans, and I immediately went for the tank. Commandeering it, I was easily able to clear the area of hostiles and move in for the Jack of Clubs. I guess I shouldn't be surprised the Jack was easier than the King, but... damn. Like I took a tank and their regime fell. With the Jack and King apprehended, it increased our intel high enough to take on the Ace of Clubs. But I wasn't about to do that until we dismantled their entire support structure. 7 clubs down, 5 more to go. Using my incredible detective skills, I deduced the next target. The Queen of Clubs would be delivered to us via the Chinese, as the Allies sent the email about the Ace.
Why are you going to the airport? Flying somewhere?
So that was the mission, and by God, if I wasn't going to take out a lower HVT on the way. Just so happens to be the 7th of clubs. 7th? 7. And due to his complete lack of awareness of his surroundings, I knew it was safe to kill him, as he probably wasn't going to be a great source of intel. Arriving at the Chinese HQ, I had to buy their trust due to it being severed for unknown reasons.
You're now an enemy of the Chinese.
And then I could proceed to the meeting with Pang, who wants me to eliminate some high-end officials being protected by the Russians.
We have identified several high-ranking members of their organization. Eliminate them, and the Russian scavengers will be forced to retreat.
Well, it looks like I'm going to be paying off a few factions.
Eliminate them.
Rocking out with a few Chinese allies, we journeyed far across the map before scoping out our first Russian target.
That's 1 officer confirmed down.
And not long after, the second was in sight.
That's 2 officers confirmed down. Only 1 more to go. Keep up the good work. They've spotted you. Now there's no bonus from the Chinese.
Wait, how? Why do I even bother? You didn't see me. That's bullshit. Rocking out with the boys again. I came across the last target and couldn't get a beat on him for the fucking life of me. Racing to get out of there, I hid behind a building to gather my shit before making it back to the Chinese contact. So, I guess this didn't involve the Queen of Clubs. Feeling a bit robbed, I set out for the 8 of Clubs and took out some frustration on him and his men. I guess deciding to give the Chinese another chance to give me the Queen of Clubs, I spoke with General Pang.
Looking for more money, eh? Mercenary?
The tanks I need to take...
But all I'm hearing is about tanks. Bro, where's the Queen?
The tanks I need to take the city can only be brought in through the city.
Off to capture a port so tanks can be delivered. The boys and I. Myself and I ran around the camp to make short work of the shitty infantry and HVTs, none of which seemed to be the damn Queen. Oh, what's this? Could it be? I stole a tank and moved in to investigate. And just as I expected, and didn't doubt for a second, the Chinese delivered. You're mine. Got you. With the Queen captured, which, congrats on being the Queen by the way, sick title, only 2 left before my OCD would allow us to continue, the 9 and the 10 of Clubs. Seeing as we had intel on the 9, I decided to start with him. Apparently north of the DMZ. Which I would hope. North of the DMZ? It wasn't long before a trail up through the mountains led me right to him. A small firefight broke out, but it wasn't much to handle. Calling in the extraction team was a pain, though. But I eventually got it. And another one was off the list. Falling like flies. Deciding to take this obvious escape vehicle, our quest continued for the last-ish member of the club's family. Only we didn't know where he was at. Yet perseverance and the internet later, we found him. Okay, see, the world righted itself. We're fine. Going back for the HVT, I came across the most convenient helicopter known to man and flew it the rest of the way. This time trying to land quickly to prevent being shot down by the SAMs, I was able to approach the 10 of clubs and engage him in the usual struggle. Every time. Completing the usual process and crossing off the 10. Jeez, it's like, hopefully the ace is tougher. God damn.
He's the snake to my mongoose. Or the mongoose to my snake. Either way, it's bad. I don't know animals. But I do know this. This time it's personal.
I hope you guys enjoyed part 2 of Mercenaries 15 years later. It was a bit of a bitch, guys, but the House of Clubs is about to fall. So stay tuned for part 3. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.